Imagine a doll so sinister, so engulfed in darkness that it left a trail of terror, tragedy, and unanswered questions wherever it went. You've seen her in horror films, but do you know the chilling true story behind Annabelle? Just saying her name feels like a whispered invocation of dread. Popularized by the Conjuring series, her terrifying presence and soulless stare have become the epitome of supernatural horror. But here's the sinister reality. Annabelle is no mere Hollywood fabrication. Her real-life story is far darker, more menacing, and more mind-shattering than anything conjured on the silver screen. It began innocuously enough, an ordinary day in the 1970s. A mother stumbled upon a vintage Raggedy Ann doll in a second-hand shop, thinking it was the perfect birthday gift for her daughter Donna, a kind-hearted nursing student. The doll's stitched smile hid no secrets, or so they thought. At first glance, Annabelle was an innocent keepsake. But the warm innocence was a mask cloaking something vile. Within weeks, Donna and her roommate Angie noticed inexplicable disturbances. The doll appeared in rooms where no one had placed it, sitting eerily in unnatural positions, leaning against walls with her black, soulless eyes fixed on them. Then came the horrifying notes scribbled on parchment paper reading, "Help me." Neither owned such paper, leaving only one terrifying conclusion. The messages were coming from Annabelle. Donna's friend Lou hated the doll from the beginning. "Something evil is hiding in her," he warned. The roommates laughed it off, until the doll's torment turned personal. Lou claimed he'd been attacked in his sleep by the doll, left gasping for air as invisible hands choked him. When he woke, ragged claw marks streaked across his chest. It was no harmless prank. The horrifying truth began unspooling. Plagued with fear, Donna reached out to a local medium, desperate for answers. The medium painted a sorrowful picture, a child spirit named Annabelle Higgins. A 7-year-old girl who had passed tragically was drawn to Donna's compassion. Moved by the story, Donna and Angie made a grave mistake. They allowed the doll to stay in their home, hoping to provide Annabelle's spirit comfort. What began as a charitable gesture transformed into living hell. The attacks escalated, centering on Lou, the one person Annabelle hated. This was no innocent child. It was deceit. The doll was controlled by something far more sinister, something powerful, something inhuman. Desperate and terrified, Donna turned to the only people bold enough to confront the doll's dark power, Ed and Lorraine Warren, famed paranormal investigators. The Warrens, through their occult expertise, confirmed their worst fears. The spirit wasn't a child at all, but a demonic entity using the doll as a vessel to wreak havoc. Its intent was clear: to possess one of its victims permanently. The Warrens performed a cleansing of the apartment, but Annabelle was more resilient than they anticipated. The entity fought back, lashing out throughout the process. Knowing they couldn't trust it to stay in the house, Ed and Lorraine decided to take the doll with them. What should have been a routine drive spiraled into a nightmarish ordeal. The Warrens' car malfunctioned. Its brakes failed, the steering locked, and the engine sputtered violently. The demonic presence within Annabelle was trying to stop them. Only after Ed doused the doll in holy water did the chaos subside. Once they returned home, Ed and Lorraine built a unique prison for Annabelle, a glass case inscribed with protective rituals. It was placed within their occult museum in Monroe, Connecticut, with a glaring warning for visitors: do not touch or taunt. But even locked behind fortified glass, her haunting presence refused to rest. Visitors who dared to mock or touch Annabelle often left cursed. One man, full of mockery, banged on the glass and laughed, "You can't hurt me." Hours later, he was dead, his motorcycle wrecked due to a mysterious brake failure. Others faced inexplicable accidents, nightmares, or lasting dread after visiting her. Annabelle's malevolent reach didn't stop there. Even in her containment, her dark energy persisted. Priests attempting to purify the doll all reported near catastrophic accidents, and reports of her appearing in different locations despite her locked confinement spread. Darkness clung to Annabelle, whispering to those who dared to get too close, ensnaring them in her cursed aura. Skeptics argue her story is exaggerated, a figment of the Warren storytelling intertwined with Hollywood's penchant for profit. Yet there are countless testimonies from visitors and victims alike who swear by her dreadful power. How could one dismiss the long chain of catastrophic car crashes, mysterious injuries, and the lingering terror etched into the minds of those who've encountered her? Despite the skepticism, the legend of Annabelle persists. To this day, the thought of her soulless eyes staring through the glass chills even hardened non-believers. Is she merely a doll elevated by human imagination, or is she the conduit for a force more ancient and evil than we dare comprehend? One thing is certain, reality and fiction blur in Annabelle's harrowing tale. She defies rational explanation, leaving only questions in her wake. Every legend carries a seed of truth, and those who shrug her off as fabrication risk making the fatal mistake of underestimating her. So, what do you believe? A Hollywood fabrication, or an eternal entity dwelling within an innocent-looking doll? Before you answer, heed the countless warnings given throughout Annabelle's reign of terror. Darkness isn't always a concept confined to fiction. Sometimes it finds a way to bleed into reality. Share your thoughts. But remember, Annabelle's story isn't just a tale to be told. It's a chilling reminder that some invitations should never be extended, and some gifts should never be accepted. What starts as innocence can spiral into terror when the supernatural decides to pay a visit. Dare to watch your favorite doll again? Just keep an eye on it, because the same mistake Donna made could one day leave your door wide open.